Hi, welcome to the Fit and Healthy Today show. Today our show will be about Fitness Training 101. And I'm gearing this as a broad discussion about the things that I deem as a professional trainer, as well as an owner of a health food store, to know particular things that can aid people in fitness training of all walks of life, all fitness levels. So here we go. First of all, diet and nutrition. Whenever you start a fitness type of training program, you really would like to have in conjunction with it a change, a diet modification. And the diets that seem to work the best that I found as a trainer are diets that have good levels of protein, adequate amounts of good fats, and lots of fruits and vegetables. Watching your sugar levels, keeping those down and under control, aids with weight loss, as well as, remember from our prior shows that the increase in sugar can increase inflammation, as well as the inability to build muscle for those people who are looking for strength or bodybuilding. Enzyme-rich diets such as your fruits and vegetables. Raw fruits and vegetables are the best ways to go. And the government tells us we need 3 to 5 servings of veggies a day and about the same on fruit. Obviously, if you're diabetic, you have to be mindful that you can't do that much fruit. But those enzyme-rich foods help us to repair, they help give us energy, they change the pH in our bloodstream, making us more alkali. Therefore, we heal faster, we feel better, and our energy levels rise. Whenever we get too much sugar or junk in our diet, especially when we're fitness training, our energy levels drop, our inflammation rises. So whenever you have anything in which you're training and you have inflammation, you really want to alkali the diet as much as you possibly can with those fruits and vegetables. And you can go on the computer and simply type in alkaline foods and search that, and you can get a list of all those types of foods that are alkaline producing and enzyme rich as well. As a trainer, I usually recommend before people start a fitness program or while they're starting a fitness program to go through a cleanse. And that means a bowel and organ type of cleanse. And you can get the kits, and they range anywhere from about $25 on up to $70, depending on how complete, and I've seen them even higher price than that. But what you do is when you cleanse out the body, you get rid of the gunk. Things that have stored in the bowel, you get the liver starting to move better. You just move things out and get to where the bowels become more regular. Increasing the fibers or certain types of cleansing herbs, lots of good fresh water. What you're basically doing is you're giving your body a good spring cleaning so that it will function better. And that means whether you have arthritis, whether or not you have diabetes, or just a healthy overall person, when you cleanse the body, it works better, bottom line. When we're talking about supplements, I get a lot of questions when I'm in the store about the types of supplements you should take when you're fitness training. And besides cleansing out the body and getting it prepared for your fitness program, there's the top 4 things that I usually recommend to people who come in who are saying, I want to get fit again, I want to have endurance, those types of things. The little old lady who's sitting in the chair requires 50 to 60 grams of protein just to maintain a muscle mass of 150 pounds. So most of our population, or a great deal of our population, is very protein deficient. And I'm not talking about that big platter full of steak at the end of the day. I'm talking about consistent protein breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then if you're training to build muscle, the standard acceptable method is about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you need 200 grams of protein, which the body can only use about 45 grams of protein at a time. So you have to have these small meals of protein throughout the day. So in order to maintain muscle, tone muscle, or build muscle, you require additional amounts of protein. The most biologically available or best proteins are going to be whey proteins, egg source proteins, there's hemp proteins, rice proteins. Believe it or not, that good old platter full of steak has only got a biological availability of about 30 to 35 grams of protein. And so you've got all this spillover of protein into the kidneys, so it's very hard, it raises ammonia levels, and it's very hard on the kidneys. So slamming high amounts of meat proteins can cause a lot of inflammation and ammonia, whereas more biologically available proteins like your whey, eggs, soy, hemp cause a lot less of that spillover. Number 2, a good multiple vitamin, and I mean a good one that gets good rankings, not something that's compressed for a 7-year shelf life. We want something that has a very good amount of vitamin Bs. When the body's working out or it's starting a fitness training program, it utilizes Bs and needs Bs in order to synthesize protein. So a good quality multivitamin mineral supplement, I think, is important in starting any fitness training program, whether you're just starting to go on the treadmill or you're starting to do actually heavy weightlifting that you haven't done for 25 years since football. So number 3 on the list, and this particularly is really, really important, actually in all age categories, but primarily in people who haven't worked out and they're starting to, see the little pooch and that type of thing from your 30s on upward. When we start to go back to workout again, we'll notice sometimes that we get a lot more inflamed than we did when we were out playing soccer when we were 16 or 17 years old. So those essential fatty acids really, really reduce the inflammation in the joints, and those are found in your nuts, flax oil, fish oils particularly have a wonderful way of reducing inflammation, and for arthritic patients who are wanting to work out and keep their mobility and their stiffness away, the fish oils really, really do help with lubrication of the joints and reducing the inflammation in the joints. In addition, they also, as we've discussed before, reduce inflammation in the vascular system, the heart, good for the brain, so on and so forth. If you are an endurance athlete or you're in the gym 5 days a week, you're hitting it very hard, and you notice you just don't have the endurance that you need, there's a supplement called creatine. Preferably, you would like to obtain a pharmaceutical grade made in the USA or European source of creatine, good quality, lead-free types of creatines. What creatine does is it goes into the cells of the body and it pulls in water, which increases an ATP or the energy cycle within muscle tissues. So it gives you stronger, better endurance. It can also increase oxygen utilization for those people who are like marathon runners or people who like to take the long walks around the mission here in Lompoc. But mind you, if you're only working out 2 or 3 days a week, it's probably not something you need. But if you're really hitting it intensely and hard, creatine can be very helpful. For those people who play contact sports like football, soccer, basketball, I've seen heads bang, creatine, since it fills the cells with water, also can lessen the chances substantially of concussions. So when I hear these coaches say, oh, no creatine, no, if you're doing a good pharmaceutical grade creatine, it lessens the chances of concussions. So I kind of think if you have a child, for example, that's extremely in those extreme types of sports of contact, creatine would be something that I would suggest as well. As we mentioned in our cleansing portion, keeping the fiber high in the diet. Our liver and our body secretes hormones, certain amounts of hormones, and then it dumps them into the bowel to be evacuated. It's supposed to get rid of them. Well, the problem is if you're not having that 2 to 3 bowel movements a day to get rid of those excessive hormones that the body no longer needs, or the toxins that the body tried to get rid of, you reabsorb them all over again, and they get processed through the liver, through everything, all over. So it's real important to keep fibers high, particularly water-soluble fibers, which would be like your oat brands, apple pectin, grapefruit pectin. Your fruit and your fruit and vegetable types of proteins are water-soluble fibers. Green tea. A lot of people say, green tea for working out? Well, green tea also increases oxygen utilization significantly. In addition, it helps as an antioxidant. When we do tend to work out, sometimes we'll release more obviously oxidative processes, and that helps neutralize some of those what's called free radicals, or that rusting of the vascular or other portions on a cellular level of the body. Green tea also can be utilized in endurance athletics, since it does increase oxygen utilization as well. And recent research shows how much longer, I think the study was on 5 cups of green tea a day, was lengthening life by years. So from a standpoint of an overall good antioxidant and oxygen utilization, green tea can be very, very helpful. Vitamin C. I have a lot of athletes coming in, or older people who are starting the treadmill program, and they all have more issues with joints. And besides the fish oil types of things, I really suggest that they keep their vitamin C levels up. This really helps with the collagen matrix in the joints. Collagen is necessary to maintain the vascular flexibility of blood vessels and everything else in the body that requires collagen. So it can help with some of the tendon and ligament around the joints. Anything that's collagen-based, the C can help. In addition, it helps the liver better process toxins as well, and move things out. Because as you start to exercise, the body starts to move things out. You know, you're jumping and moving. Your lymphatic system starts to move again. Everything starts to move again, like you woke it up. You're not sitting on the couch anymore. All of a sudden, you're waking it up. And the body, which is a phenomenal, wonderful machine, will respond if it's given the right nutrients and right care. Enzymes. Enzyme-rich foods are, as I mentioned before, are very, very important for cellular repair, digestion. If you're eating enzyme-rich foods, you'll keep those enzyme levels up. If you're not as good about keeping raw fruits and vegetables, then you can add in digestive enzymes, plant enzymes, pancreatic enzymes. There's a full gamut, but most of them are plant-based types of enzymes that can increase cellular repair and digestion flow. Branched chain amino acids, and I have physicians put patients who are muscle wasting on branched chain amino acids. Branched chain amino acids spare muscle tissue. You take them between meals, and what they do then is they keep the muscle from being eaten away as a fuel source. So when an endurance athlete is out running that marathon, or running his 2 and 3 miles, or you're walking that mission for 2 or 3 miles, branched chain amino acids will help prevent the body from using its muscle as its fuel source. So utilizing that as an option in a good dosage, anywhere from, I would say, between 2 and 5 grams of branched chain amino acids, can be very, very helpful for preventing that muscle eating up. Acetyl-L-carnitine. Very anti-aging. There's a lot of research on acetyl-L-carnitine as far as anti-Alzheimer's. From an athletic standpoint or a fitness training standpoint, it helps in the utilization, as I've noted down here, for oxygen starvation. So as you're sitting there in your past and you've had that cigarette in your mouth and you just don't oxygenate very well, acetyl-L-carnitine will help with oxygen starvation on a cellular level as well. So excellent for those people who also have COPD, which is a breathing type of circulatory disorder as well. Glutamine. A lot of people who want to work out, obviously, want to do it in order to drop weight, in addition to getting physically fit and feeling better. Glutamine, or L-glutamine, helps with sugar cravings. It also helps in utilization of protein synthesis. It enhances protein synthesis. L-glutamine is also used. I know we have one oncologist in particular who recommends taking L-glutamine during chemotherapy treatments because it's extremely healing and protective on the digestive tract, the small intestines. So helpful to take, must be taken on an empty stomach, just like acetyl-L-carnitine, and they can be taken together before a workout. Citrulline.